Everybody, Scott Riley, December 6th, the market update desk. Wanted to go over what came out today, which was the all-important BLS jobs report. So the November jobs report, the headline, showed that we added 227,000 jobs. In addition, we had a revision upward for October of 36,000 jobs, which wasn't a big surprise because remember, that was the report that showed only 12,000 jobs created. Now, part of the reason for this slightly higher than expected job creation was workers returning to work from a couple different strikes that were out there. So we did have a little bit of artificial pressure or movement that caused a little bit higher number than expected. Now, leading the way for jobs was healthcare and social services. They added 72,000 jobs. Government, again, this is I think maybe the sixth report in a row that they were either the number one or number two sector of job growth. And, realistically, having that much created from government does not sustain strong, credible job stability. So government was up 33,000. Retail trades, a little bit of a surprise, down 28,000. Now, that's the headline. The household survey tells a little bit of a different story. That showed unemployment ticked up by 1/10 to 4.2% from 4.1. Also, the very important U6 unemployment, or all-in unemployment, ticked up an eighth to 7.8%. Now, also, the birth-death model on the headline number added a substantial amount of the jobs. Now, that's in comparison to the ADP report that showed very few small business job growth. So we still have that very dissenting number that comes between those two very important reports. In addition, on the horizon, we're going to get the QCEW, the quarterly census on earnings and wages. That's going to show what the overestimate or potentially underestimate of job creation was. But realistically, last year was over 850,000 jobs that were not really there once they actually review the data. So as that comes out in January, that's going to make a significant spotlight into what the real numbers are. Total employed part-time for economic reasons stayed flat at about 4.5 million. Average hourly earnings ticked up 0.4%. Average hours worked also ticked up by 1/10 of an hour. Now, we did get a decline in the total workforce by 0.1%, 1/10. So those are important numbers to review. Now, internationally, we have still a lot going on with South Korea. That's a very important trading partner and ally in the Southeast Asia realm, and a very important democracy to hold. So you've got the president that was trying to invoke martial law, parliament that was vetoing that, and fights between those two entities. Also, we have in Syria fighting that's erupted again. That's on like a 10 or 12-year war over there, and those all have geopolitical impacts. What we may see is that we might get a small run on the 10-year bond with this because investors are going to look for flights to safety, and that is the U.S. 10-year Treasury market. Now, next week's a big week. We get the Fed meeting towards the middle of the week, and we're going to find out if they reduce rates by 1/4 on the Fed funds overnight rate. Keep in mind, that's not mortgage rates. That's the Fed funds rate. And right now, I think I read earlier that it's up to about a 79 or 80% probability in the Fed funds futures market. I'm still not 100% sold on that, just from the underlying weakness in some of the jobs numbers. But we also have the Dow, breaking records at over 45,000. So it's going to be really interesting, not only what the decision is, but also what the commentary during the Q&A is by Chairman Powell. We'll keep up on that next week. It is a great weekend to get out there as buyers and look at homes. I know there's snow on the ground as I'm looking outside. Senior analyst Mr. Gibson is loving it. But get ahead of the curve. right now is that opportunity to get into a house without as much of a bidding war. Because once we get into February, you're going to find that we're going to have the same issues of multiple bidders, bid over ask, appraisal guarantees, cash offers. So do yourself a favor, give us a call. We'll explain the data, not the emotional aspect of it, but the pure data will help you understand what the market condition is so you can make a sound choice for your future. Give us a call, 616-293-2189. Have a great afternoon.